Let's go.
Hey friends! We are back with another week of science. I am so excited you guys are here with me, and I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It was so sunny out here. It was gorgeous. We did a lot. We got a new slack line, so we were outside a lot, and I hope that you guys had some fun too. So if this is your first time with us, my name is Dr. Erica. This is one of my sidekicks, Isabella, and I have another one, Georgia, who's going to come in a little bit. She's doing some reading right now. And we are just doing really fun science for the next, who knows, until school's out. So it's going to be an awesome time. Make sure that you don't miss anything that's coming up by making sure that you join our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it. You can like us. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And then you guys can post pictures. And I love seeing pictures of kids. I've seen the good kids and I get to see their projects on Instagram. And it's awesome to see what they're doing with these projects after the fact. So you can follow us on social media and share the word about all the science we're doing. So today we're going to learn a little bit about rockets and how rockets are stabilized and how rockets move and what we use rockets for. And that's because all week we're going to be going out of this world. So we're going to do a lot of space science this week, which is going to be a ton of fun. And every day we always do shout outs for all of our friends who are here. I know we have a little lineup coming up, which is awesome. But before we do the shout outs, I just want to quickly go over what you guys need, just in case you don't have it with you yet. So what you need is some tape, scotch tape, masking tape will work. You need a straw or a piece of a straw. We just have little tiny pieces and that's totally fine. It will work just fine for you if you have a little piece. You're going to need either a plain piece of paper, about a half sheet, or you could also use the printout that we sent in the patron package, the email. You'll need a pair of scissors, and you will also need a pencil. All right, and then if you want to decorate your rocket, you're just gonna want some fun things to decorate with. So that's all we need today. This week we're pretty low on supplies, which is gonna be amazing. We have some really cool things planned. We're gonna blast off today. Tomorrow we're gonna save some astronauts on landing. We are going to learn about how we know what's in our sun, which is kind of interesting. It's a really unique question. Except for Millie. Millie can't answer our questions on that because she's done that with me. I know she's watching. She's done it with me, so she has to let her sister figure it out. And we will be making a light up solar system while we're here. So it's going to be a lot of fun this week. I'm really excited. And we have some little ongoing projects that we're going to talk about each day that we can check in with. So, who do we have with us?
Well, first, did you want to tell them about Rosie and Watsie?
Oh, yeah. So you guys might have noticed in the past few weeks, some of the labs that we have are they're like lab books, and they have a whole story that goes with them. And our characters, Rosie and Watsie, they always go on these really fun adventures as they learn about science. So in your patron package, one of the things we're doing this week is we're learning how we get images of space back. And in that little lab, there's a little Rosie and Watsie story, because they're our fun little characters. So today you could imagine our Rosie and Watsie blasting off in this rocket. And Rosie is an awesome scientist, and Watsie is a silly, goofy, little round spherical robot that's always, I don't know, we always have silly ideas coming from Watsie, I think. They're pretty awesome, and they're going to be a lot of fun to hang out with.
We'll bring ours.
Alex could bring his tadpole frogs.
Yeah, we could bring...
Or tadpole frogs.
Puffles.
Frog eggs. That'd be awesome.
All right, so that is what we have for now for comments. I think we're ready
All
for
right,
lesson.
So let's get started. So we are going to make a rocket to blast off with, and rockets, we have to use rockets to get into outer space. So when we put somebody on the International Space Station, when we launch the Hubble telescope, in a few months, we have the launch window that opens for the Mars 2020 rover. So if we want to get a rover to Mars, we all have to start with the rocket. So today we are going to make a rocket. And if you're super interested in rockets, you could also take a look at the next upcoming rocket launch in the States is May 27th. It's going to be by SpaceX. They are launching a crewed rocket launch. It's going to be one of the first rocket launches with a crew from the US in a very long time. So we're super excited about that. Normally we put our astronauts on Russian space missions to get them in and out of the space station. So we are going to make a rocket today, and our rocket has a few important parts. One of the part is sort of the body. So depending on the size of the body, the bigger the body, the harder it is to get it to go up because it has more drag. And to help reduce that, we have a nose cone. And nose cones can come in all shapes and sizes. Some of them might be like more curved. Some of them might be more pointed. They might come in pointier. They might be longer or shorter. And that's actually something you could look at with this guy on how it flies, is you could try to change the length of this nose cone and see if that helps your rocket fly better. And then we have the fins that help stabilize the rocket. So if the rocket, we want it to go straight up, we don't want it to flip over and come down because then we have a huge sad crash. We want it to go up, and what happens is if I go this way, we actually have a whole bunch of extra drag that hits here and sort of forces the rocket back. And if it overcompensates, we go a little bit this way, but then we have extra drag on these fins, so it helps stabilize that rocket, just like feathers on the end of arrows help stabilize your arrow and make it go nice and straight. And of course, we would want bigger rocket bodies so we can send more stuff up to space. And so this is a little rocket that we can put Rosie and Watsie on to blast off. And the way it blasts off is when we're all done, it'll fit with a little straw. I have this straw cut sort of at an angle. And it looks like we have maybe a little botched the bottom piece. So put it on the straw, and then your breath is actually the thrust. So you can blow it and it will fly for you, which is going to be amazing. And all you need is scissors, paper, tape, a straw, and some pencils. So we will get started. And if you have our printout and you want to decorate it, this is what you're going to decorate. This is going to turn into your rocket body. I'm going to give this to you girls so you can do that. And then I know that some of us don't have printers, so I'm actually going to make mine with just a sheet of paper. All right.
Nancy is asking if she can make her own version of the rocket.
You can always make your own version. I fully support that. All right. So if you just have a piece of paper, what you're going to do is you're going to just take out a rectangle from your piece of paper. This is already sort of a half sheet of a normal paper for us, and just sort of like maybe like the length of your thumb. Doesn't need to be too long. If it's too long, it's just gonna wrap around the pencil. So I'm just gonna fold this piece down if you don't have the printout, and then we can cut that piece off. And that is gonna be our rocket body. All right, and we can decorate our rocket body.
What would you say the dimensions of that rocket body is?
It's about 5 inches by maybe an inch and a half.
It's got to be able to wrap around a pencil.
Yeah, it needs to be able to wrap around a pencil. So like what we will end up doing after we decorate is we'll wrap it around this guy and then we'll tape it. So, and in fact, you could even make it shorter if you want, or longer. It could be an experiment to see like, does the length of the rocket body matter? And we can decorate it. So I'm gonna put like, I don't know, what do I want to decorate mine with? The moon or bust. To the moon! And maybe I'll draw a cool picture of the moon on my rocket so as not to forget where my rocket's going. Now, some of your decorations will get wrapped in on themselves, so just be aware of that. You know, sometimes if we spend a whole lot of time making an awesome decoration and then it rolls up over it, that can be really upsetting. So just a heads up that that could happen to you.
You can also decorate it after it's on, but it's a little harder.
Yeah, if you decorate it after it's on, it'll be tricky because it's on a curved surface. But you can decide where your rocket is going. Maybe it's going to the moon. Maybe it's going to Saturn. Maybe it's leaving the Milky Way galaxy. Maybe it's leaving our local area out in search of other things.
Kaya is saying that she's going to use a tray as a rocket launcher.
Ooh, a tray?
Like everything gets the pad.
Ooh, love that. You know, I've thought about, there are those straws that have sort of that little bend in them. And I thought that would be super cool if you could like have it bend straight up, but you just blow like this and it would go up. That would be super neat. We don't have those straws. We've got these guys. And if you have, this will work with compostable straws, reusable straws. It'll work with all sorts of straws. So you don't need to worry what kind. If you have a straw that's bigger, you'll just need to probably wrap it around something that's bigger. So if it's a really large straw, maybe wrap it around like a Sharpie marker. And then what we'll do is I like to just sort of place it down with a pencil and just got to get that edge sort of rolled up first. So I just sort of move my fingers along that edge, and then I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to keep sort of pressing it. This is helping to bend the paper into that nice spot, and you'll see I'm about to lose my N, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. It's going to be moo. Moo.
Taylor's rocket is going to go to Andromeda.
Ooh, Andromeda, I love it.
Does anybody else have any cool places for the rocket to go?
Yeah. All right, so once you have it sort of curved around your pencil, you will be ready to tape it. And if you're not there yet, no big deal. It's totally fine. So I'm just gonna roll it again, and you wanna roll it nice and good. So that's all rolled together. And then this seam right here where it wants to come off, right here is where I'm gonna tape. So I'm just gonna tape down on that seam.
Can I?
Zoop. Oop.
Can I?
Yep. I'll give you this pencil in 1 sec.
Isabel, where's yours going?
Just like this.
I don't know.
And so now you can take your pencil out and you've got a tube. Just like that. And you might be like, Dr. Erica, that does not look like the rocket you had. And you'd be right, because there's like a step we haven't done. Well, a couple steps we haven't done.
Griffin is going to go to Kepler 22b.
Ooh.
What's special
Curious
there?
about what's on Kepler 22b. This sounds like one of the ones that NASA has made, an exoplanet that NASA has made a little tourism chart for. Because they'll have ones that's like, go visit Kepler 22b where gravity is super heavy, or like where it rains diamonds, and you're like, what? Let's go. So for that would really hurt. You would need like an impressive umbrella.
You need a diamond umbrella.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we want to make our nose cone. So what you'll do is you're gonna take your pencil in, and you're gonna put the tip of the pencil sort of by the top. So not coming out, but right at the top, just like that. And you're gonna hold on to both of them, and you're just gonna twist. I'm gonna twist the same way that my paper was rolling.
So you're squeezing the pencil
So I'm gonna
inside of the paper?
squeeze, yeah, I'm squeezing it all together, and I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna twist. Just like that. And if you want, you can bring your pencil down a little bit after you sort of started it, and you can twist some more. And that gives you a nice little nose cone. Just like that. And if you feel like, oh, I'm worried about my nose cone coming off, like untwisting, you can take a little piece of tape, right, like this, and you could twist it around as well. Ooh, that tape didn't stick very well for me.
Griffin says, it is a super Earth.
Just like that. Nice. Georgia, do you need help with your cone?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we're going to do, again with Georgia's cone, hers is looking good. Is this where the top is?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to bring that pencil sort of up, and then you're going to pinch and twist just right there. Just around the tip. Yep, and keep doing it. Do it a few times. Nice. Beautiful.
Raiden is going to go into
And
the
then you've
unknown.
got your cone. Ooh, into the unknown. You did it. Yeah.
We'll walk it?
All right, so if you have your printout, the one thing that we're still missing on our rocket is the fin piece. So you can cut out these fin pieces. It's a little bit tricky, but just do the best you can. That's all we always ask, is giving it our best shot.
We have a
Now-
circle I
Can I
can
do
leave
the
next to the
top?
screen.
Oh, yeah, one of these.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put this guy down here for you guys. So that was our body, and so now you can cut out the fins. Now I know Naomi doesn't have her printout available, and if you also don't have your printout available, don't worry. I'm going to show you how you can make your own set of fins. So I'm just going to fold a piece of paper over, and I'm going to look at these fins. They're probably maybe like 1.5 inches. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw a triangle on the fin, and it's not going to be a straight triangle that comes over. If you need to, you can help draw yourself the straight triangle. But this is going to kind of come up like this. Just like that. And then if I cut that while it's folded, so now I'm going to cut it while it's folded, just like this. Then it will open up, and it will be very similar to these fins that we have on our printout. So that's one way you can do it. And again, if you don't have the printout, I'll show you again. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw your triangle down. I'm actually going to copy this one so my fins are sort of the same. So you're going to draw a triangle. We'll just put the dots in here. You're going to draw a triangle on your folded piece of paper, just like this. And then, again, it's folded, and we're going to draw, instead of going straight across like that, we're actually going to draw it slightly up, like this. And then we'll cut out this little triangle right here to make our second fin. And you only need 2 fins, because each fin is actually 2 fins, so you actually get 4 fins out of this. So, and then again, if I unfold it, I have sort of 2 fins that look like it. And we don't have these little tabs that make it a little easier for taping, but I don't think we really need to worry about that. And then what you'll do is you're going to tape it on. So you're going to tape them on, one sort of on the top and one on the bottom, like a little sandwich. So I'll take my fins, and I'm going to tape one here. And if this is the top fin, the other one is going to go on the bottom, so I have sort of a little sandwich. And I'm going to tape it so that they sort of bend outwards. And we're going to bend them all outwards in just a little bit, too. Your rocket? Right. Uh-oh. Where's George's rocket?
Can't go that far.
Mayday. Mayday. Houston, we have a problem. Yes, Houston, what is your problem? We're missing a rocket. What do you mean we're missing a rocket? I mean, the rocket is gone. I'm sorry, I don't understand. How is the rocket gone? Ah, we found it. Good. Evan to the rescue. So now I'm going to tape the other one on the other side. So I'm just going to tape the tip. You want to tape them so that the bottom of the fins are at the bottom of your rocket. So move it up just a little bit. So if you have the JPL one, you're going to move it up so that you can put it, you can tape this little tab down. So you're going to tape the tab, but not these corner pieces. And then you're going to tape the tip down too. Beautiful. And we always strive for our best instead of perfection. Just want to say that. Every scientist strives for our best instead of perfection. Because things not working out to the best is always a part of science. That's just what science is. I spent 6 years working on my PhD, well actually 6.5, and most of the work that my PhD is about happened in that last 6 months. And the rest of it was just learning how to get up from failure. All right, I have my little rocket with fins, which is awesome. And then to fly it, all you need is to put your straw inside, and then you're gonna blow on your straw and it will blast off for you, which is pretty awesome. So let's see. Ooh, and you can make it. I love that was it Venetia who's making an awesome landing pad? I think it was Venetian. So Venetia is gonna have a cool. Who was it?
Kai was gonna use.
I was making a landing pad. No, it's not a dumb rocket. It's a great rocket. We love it. Oh, I think let's use a smaller piece of tape. Here. Let's use a small piece of tape right here. Take that guy.
So how are they supposed to use the data charts? What are they going to be measuring?
Yeah, so the data charts, the way that we use them, there's a couple options actually that they don't even put in here on how you could use your data charts. I am a huge fan on collecting different pieces of data for projects. So this is definitely a way that if you're looking to get a little extra math into your day, you can. You're gonna fold them up just like this, Georgia. See how I folded mine up? So a couple things you can do. They had a data sheet that came with it, and it looks like this, and it looks like you measure the length of your nose cone, and then you blow it and you see how far it goes, and you do that a few times. But, oh, it's just not taped down, Georgia. Why don't you take it over to Evan? But what you could do instead, which I think is kind of cool, is you could actually look at the angle. So how does the launch angle of the rocket change how far it goes? And so that would be like if we wanted to go from Texas to Los Angeles, like Texas to California, to get our rocket from one spot to another, you could try to blow it more like an airplane, or you could blow it and see how high can I get it to go. And that might require us laying on the ground. And this would be great if you have siblings, because you could lay on the ground next to a wall and you can blow it up as high as you can, and your sibling could mark it, and then you could measure it. And you guys could see how high can you go. You could see, does the length of the rocket matter? So you could slowly sort of maybe take off the fins and then start chopping your rocket down and seeing, is there a spot where it stops going very high? In fact, we could try this right now. we could chop this rocket like that, and we could see, does this fly better or worse? Ooh, it flies pretty good actually. So that's kind of interesting. Ooh, it's lighter, so it did fly farther, but it did do a lot more flips. So there's a lot of questions we could do with that. You could look at if you blow lightly versus really hard. You could look at your siblings, like who has the strongest breath, and you could track that. You could track if your parents are stronger, if they have stronger lungs than you, if they can get it to go higher. So many options. So many options for tracking data if you want to track data. Or you can play. And it's totally fine to just play. You could take it outside. It's a beautiful day today. You could make some chalk line markers, and you could try to shoot for things. You could actually draw planets outside in chalk, and you could try to like hit certain planets to land on, which would be really, really fun. So many ways to play with these little awesome rockets. And now they're gonna get us to the moon, or they're gonna get us to Kepler 22b, or they're gonna get us to Andromeda. Where else did we have that we were going? I forget. Oh, George's isn't working. I wonder what it could be.
We had Lila say hi.
Hi, Lila and Millie!
And then we've had some successful launches already. We've had Max launch off. We had Raiden. He actually did the countdown.
Give it a hard one. Give it a hard blow.
Callie launched off. The Hertz launched off. Those went pretty far.
There you go. Can I try yours, Georgia?
Rachel's landed upright.
You can have mine. I want mine.
Ooh, so Georgia's could use a little bit. She's a little frustrated. It's not working as well as she wants. So what we could do, and if you're at home feeling the same way, let's troubleshoot this a little. And the thing that I'm noticing that's different between hers and mine is like how big that bottom piece is. So if it was bothering you, it doesn't seem like it's bothering Georgia. If it was bothering you, something that you could try to do is make that smaller. That might help so that your breath doesn't come back around. It actually all creates that thrust force, which could be really cool. All right, so that is our project today. I see Isabella looks like she's already working on a stand for her rocket, which is awesome. I'm really excited to see all of your guys' rocket projects over on in Zoom, and we'll have Tiny Dancer and friends. Maybe Isabella will run out and go get Mr. Puffles. Puffball, sorry. We'll go get Puffball, that you guys can check out our tadpoles and caterpillars as they go through their life cycles. And I just want to say, before we head over to Zoom, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm super excited you're here. Make sure you share our message on social media. Make sure you share what we're doing, because the more the merrier. It's so much fun seeing you guys. And make sure to give us some likes, all that jazz. If you are new and you want to get all of the downloads, some of the downloads like this week are just straight from JPL, but we do have other downloads that come. For example, we actually have an awesome imaging lab that we're going to do on Wednesday, and I've actually emailed the JPL staff, and they emailed me the original data from the very first Martian image, the very first image we had from Mars. And I took that data and I averaged it all out, so it wasn't like this really big, huge picture that was really overwhelming. It actually fits on a page, and it is color by number, and it is exactly how real JPL, like JPL is our Jet Propulsion Laboratory, so the real scientists at NASA also uncovered our very first image of Mars. They literally did it the same way. They also did color by number. And so if you want some access to those guys, it's on Patreon. You can join us at patreon.com/Rosie Research, and it has all the downloads you need for every week of science we do, all of the fun jazz. And it also gives you the link for our Zoom classroom.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, because we launched today, tomorrow we are going to land. So we have this awesome little engineering challenge that is also an idea from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And it's like, how do you design a moon lander? This was one of the ideas that we maybe had. So our astronauts are going to be in a little bubble. Our astronauts for us were some marshmallows. Okay, Georgia. And you'll notice I have some marshmallows that died. And that's because when I dropped them on the moon lander, they did not survive. They all fell out and died. So our goal tomorrow will be an engineering challenge where we can drop our moon lander onto the lunar surface and they can still survive. So that'll be an awesome, fun little project for us tomorrow. It'll be engineering, lots of failure, but hopefully also lots of success, because when we fail, we can learn from it. And that's always really